Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts Bringing Value Home. Lowe says he warned PNCR of election loss, blames leadership style for collapse. Day 26 of election fraud trial. Defense objects to MINGO February police interview. Court to conduct VOIR. Former CARICOM ambassador and the Director General, the late ELISABETH Harper, laid to rest. University of Guyana welcomes new and returning students during ceremonial opening. And in sport, a 6-class horse race meet to return to the Georgetown Turf Club. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Friday 19th September 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We'll tell you this evening that after one of the most crushing defeats in its history, the People's National Congress reform, led by a Partnership for National Unity, is facing open criticism from within its own ranks. Party treasurer and executive member Elson Lowe says the loss was predictable and that he had been warning colleagues for months. Here's that story.
Appearing on the Freddie Kissoon show, the People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, led a Partnership for National Unity, APNU, Lowe said he had long been troubled by the party's direction, but kept his concerns quiet out of loyalty.
I've been distressed for several months because I've been speaking internally to the party about my real concerns regarding the election. Now, out of respect for the efforts of my comrades, out of respect for my party, you keep those things internally, you keep those things quiet.
The September 1 general and regional elections delivered a landslide victory to the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic, PPPC, which secured 242,498 votes and took 8 of Guyana's 10 administrative regions, including Region 4 and Region 7, once considered PNC strongholds. The opposition coalition, however, collapsed at the polls. APNU placed third with 77,998 votes, trailing even the newly formed political movement We Invest in Nationhood win, which stunned observers by winning 109,066 votes and capturing 2 regions.
Was I surprised by the results? Not really. I think the defeat was more significant than I expected, probably more of a probability of a minority government, I thought, but I wasn't surprised, and I think it's important for Guyanese to recognize or to be able to understand that, there are people who are thinking in these organizations who recognize these challenges.
For Lowe, the defeat reflects deeper problems. He accused the party's leadership of clinging to outdated methods and mistaking command for vision. He further added that leadership is not just a leader telling people what to do, but creating an environment for success, adding that the current approach has compounded mistakes.
To me, the problem is a deeper problem, which is why I wanted to introduce the first concept, which is the idea of what leadership is. And from very early on, when I heard some people, senior people speak about leadership, it just seemed like they were saying that the leader is supposed to just tell you what to do, and I don't think that is, to me, the right approach to leadership.
He also pointed to the chaotic process of selecting parliamentary representatives as an example of poor planning, pointing to the absence of a formal structured process which contributed to a number of resignations. Looking back, he admitted his biggest regret was holding back, saying he should have pressed harder for a different definition of leadership. Among those to throw in the towel to date are executive members Mervyn Williams and Sherwin Holder, signaling a turbulent road ahead for the country's largest opposition party. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Defense attorney Nigel Hughes on Friday objected to recordings of police interrogations of former returning officer Clement Mingo and a former GEORGETOWN staffer Stephen February, arguing that the defendants were questioned without their lawyers present. Tiana Cole continues to follow that case.
Day 26 of the election fraud trial, which stems from allegations of attempts to rig the March 2020 general and regional elections, continued on Friday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. When the matter was called, Police Corporal Sheldon Harvey from the Coven John Police Station Crime Scene Unit entered the witness box. Harvey testified that in 2020, he was stationed at the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, attached to the crime laboratory, as a crime scene photographer and videographer. He told the court that on August 28, 2020, while performing duties, he was instructed by a superior to collect a video camera and an empty memory card. He then proceeded to the Major Crime Unit, where he recorded an interview conducted with the defendant, claimant MINGO. However, Hughes objected to the video being admitted into evidence. He argued that MINGO was unwell and taken to the hospital at the time and indicated he did not want officers who threatened to keep him in custody unless he complied, and that the recorder was therefore made under duress. The lawyer also objected to a disc containing an interview with another defendant, Shafrin February, being admitted into evidence on the grounds that February had requested to have her lawyer present but was denied that right. Following Hughes' objection, Magistrate Magusti ruled that the court would have to embark on a voir to determine the voluntariness of the statements. The matter was adjourned to September 22, 2025. The charges stem from investigations into the March 2020 general and regional elections. Multiple former officials of the Guyana Elections Commission, GEORGETOwn, and others faces allegations of attempting to rig the results. The defendants are collectively facing approximately 73 witnesses in the trial. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Former Director Day following a state funeral at the Ortachang Conference Center. Mrs. Harper was remembered for her illustrious contributions to nationhood and was described as a true patriot. Antonia Day was there and filed this report.
Many have turned out to deliver tributes to a true Guyanese patriot and diplomat, Ms. Elizabeth Harper, who served as former Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, as well as Ambassador to the Caribbean Community, CARICOM.
Head of State Irfan Ali in his tribute to former Caribbean Community Ambassador Elizabeth Harper.
It's important in our work of diplomacy. She did this with accuracy, ensuring Guyana's voice was always heard at the right time. Liz has what could only be called a diplomatic instinct.
Immediately reaffirm my faith in affirmation. If you want something, claim it into existence.
Tribute battled to cancer at the age of 67. In 2015, she was Prime Ministerial candidate for the People's Progressive Party Civic. Her funeral was largely attended by members of the diplomatic community, members of government, politicians such as Christopher Jones, Amanzo Watson-Desir, Catherine Hughes, and other notable figures in civil society.
Ghana has said its goodbye and farewell to a renowned diplomat, mother, wife, grandmother, aunt, and patriot Elizabeth Harper, who has left an indelible mark in the area of affairs and international cooperation. I am Antonio reporting Nightly News from the Ortachang Conference Center.
Just after the break, we have more news for you.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. Powering your life with elegance, quality.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Commissioner Rolf Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Monrepo, East Coast, and Marara, or call 220-9624-629-4021 or 619-7880. At Krishna Rolf Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
HGP Nightly News. Leader of the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, Simona Brooms, has raised serious concerns about the alarming increase in missing children and missing persons reports across the country. Speaking on the issue, Brooms criticized both the government and relevant agencies for their failure to properly address this growing crisis. Jada June reports.
Leader of the ALP, Simona Brooms, has sounded the alarm over what she described as unacceptable and troubling rise in reports of missing children and missing persons. According to Brooms, the situation has worsened in recent months, yet there has been little to no effective action taken to protect vulnerable citizens. She explained that almost daily she hears of missing children being reported, but the way these cases are handled often downplays the seriousness of the problem.
Sometimes when we hear we must put missing child. I notice, missing person, missing, even by the police force. And it really takes away from the attention and it takes away from the truth of what is happening around us.
Brooms stressed that whether it's an 11-year-old child or a 13-year-old teenager, the fact remains that they are children, and their cases must be treated with urgency and sensitivity. She revealed that the ALP committee has begun documenting reports of missing children in a spreadsheet, recording details such as names, dates, and times, since official records and follow-ups often appear inconsistent. The ALP leader was clear in her criticism of the government's handling of the issue. She emphasized that missing children's reports are frequently categorized under the general missing person label, which undermines the unique vulnerabilities of minors.
The government cannot deal with this missing child and children report as a missing person and address it how the government feels they should address it.
Brooms also called on citizens to get involved, noting that the issue goes beyond politics.
We as a people, we must get
knowledge of such cases. Brooms said that many of these children were not simply missing, but were victims of kidnapping, grooming, and exploitation.
They were lured into homes, men raped them, men exploit them, men traffic them. And up to this day, I can't tell you about one of them based on the follow-up that end up in prison.
Brooms concluded by stressing that the issue of missing children must be treated as a national crisis requiring urgent collective action. She pledged that the ALP will continue to monitor the situation and press accountability until tangible steps are taken to protect the nation's children. Jada June reported for HGP Nightly News.
After almost completing the construction of the new Demerol River Bridge, government is now exploring the option of connector roads to manage the current traffic situation. Marvin Cato reports.
One would have thought, having decided on a roundabout to connect the Heroes Highway to the new Demerol Bridge, the plan was set and all that would have been needed was execution of that plan. However, that is not the case since the Ministries of Public Works and Housing and Water are now exploring various options for the construction of a new connector road linking Providence on the East Bank corridor to the Ogle-Eccles Highway. Minister of Works Juan Egil is of the view that once the plans are finalized and construction commences, the new road will minimize traffic disruption and delays in the area.
We are continuing the road to Providence so that there could be a smooth connection from that highway with this highway.
It was announced that the new Demerol Harper Bridge is set to be opened to traffic by the end of September. Hence, traffic congestion would be the new phenomenon on the Heroes Highway if the road networks are not completed in a timely manner. Ministers Egil and Kroll, who were on a site visit to the new Demerol Harper Bridge yesterday, said best options are being explored to ensure minimal disruptions for commuters.
What we are examining right now is the alignment from the back to come out to the front, which is about 2 kilometers between Heroes Highway and that road.
Minister Egil recognized that with all of the development taking place along the East Bank corridor and with the new bridge, a new connector road will be necessary. Hence, the fact that plans for the connector roads were not carefully thought out of prior to execution, it would appear that the bridge will commission without this inclusion.
Similar road like what you find at Higgs Bosch. When you leave the roundabout at Higgs Bosch, you can go all the way down to Ogle. A similar situation we are seeking to establish, where when you come out of this roundabout, you have a 2-kilometer road that will carry you to connect with the continuation of that road that is coming through to the back.
Meanwhile, Housing Minister Colin Kroll is adamant that several options are currently being explored, especially as it relates to the road passage through the Providence community, since works have already commenced in the backlands around the Ogle area.
This is very important because not only as because of the new Demerol Harper Bridge that will be coming to being very shortly, but also as part of the opening up of other road highways, etc.
The goal, according to Kroll, is to create additional road networks while limiting the inconvenience to residents. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Having first-hand knowledge on the perils of the rice sector, President Irfaan Ali has committed to engaging all stakeholders to bring about workable solutions to minimize the impact of falling rice price and dumping of excess yields. Here again is Marvin Cato.
On Wednesday, President Irfaan Ali reaffirmed government's commitment to supporting rice farmers, pledging a comprehensive, multi-pronged approach to support farmers. At the time when he made the commitment, he was speaking with farmers from the Upper Quarantine. President Ali said the government is actively engaging millers to ensure farmers receive the best possible prices for their paddy. Quote unquote, "We want rice farmers to succeed, and we will put the right structures in place to ensure that happens," President Ali stated. The need for continuous dialogue between landowners, farmers, and millers, he stressed, is of utmost importance. He also pledged to ensure that over the next 2 weeks, the government will continue to engage with all stakeholders to find workable solutions for the benefit of everyone involved. Quote unquote, "The situation is very complex at the moment. There's dumping, there's falling prices, there's oversupply, and there's a bumper crop worldwide. We are operating in a challenging environment, but as a government, we are working to navigate through it," the president said. With a vision to the future, President Ali stated that there will be continued investment in the sector, noting his government's intentions to build storage facilities nationwide to enhance national capacity for stockpiling. With the continued enhancements and development in the agricultural sector, the President committed to supporting research on higher-yielding rice varieties. Additionally, he pledged to improve the rice grading system to ensure farmers get fair prices for their paddy. President Ali further committed to a plan to recruit international experts to explore ways of diversifying income streams for farmers. These initiatives are designed not only to sustain rice production, but also create new income opportunities for farmers and strengthen Guyana's position in the global market. Farmers welcomed the meeting, explaining that they had the chance to express their concerns directly to President Ali and members of his cabinet. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned, we have more news for you.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Hey, stop, y'all don't go away when y'all don't eat me food, you know. Y'all got fair wash your place because I did my nails. When is somebody about there gonna make a nice cake? Is my good cake gonna put the same?
Madam, I got a call from the people in the community and they said you are disturbing the peace. You're smelling up the place and you're doing something, but your food always seems to smell good.
Peace, you get the best on these things.
These things just make you cook good. I want these things and I'll carry them for evidence.
I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
HGP Nightly News. The University of Guyana's Turkine campus was a hive of activity as students, staff, and clubs gathered in celebration, setting the stage for a year of learning, growth, and community. Jed June is on that story.
The University of Guyana's Turkine campus was filled with excitement as hundreds of students, both new and returning, joined faculty and staff members for the ceremonial opening. Rows of chairs which were stretched across the venue, booths lined the space, each capturing the spirit of the new academic year. The event served as more than just a formal welcome. It was a chance for student clubs, societies, and organizations to showcase opportunities available on campus. From cultural groups and academic associations to sports and social clubs, the booths give students a glimpse into the vibrant life that extends beyond the classroom.
First, I'd like to support my club, Campus Crusade Club. And to any new student, do your best, enjoy the semester, enjoy work with people. It's a very fun experience.
University officials used the occasion to welcome students into the fold, encouraging them to embrace both their academic and personal growth. They emphasized the institution's commitment to innovation, inclusivity, and leadership development, values that remains central to the university's mission.
We commit at our university
to ensure that your experience is one that will allow you to see the promotion and enhancement of a student-focused and a student-friendly environment.
Students, meanwhile, express enthusiasm, many signing up for clubs, engaging with displays, and connecting with peers. The festive atmosphere, supported by music, lively conversations, and laughter, reflected a sense of unity that defines the University of Guyana community. The ceremonial opening not only marked the beginning of a new semester, but one where students look forward to a year filled with discovery, achievement, and a collective spirit of progress. Jayla Joe reported for HGP Nightly News.
Grace Kennedy, GK, is set to launch a new initiative on Monday, September 22. Grace Kennedy's One mobile app will be launched in Guyana in keeping with its communications mandate. The GK One mobile app, which is Grace Kennedy's financial group's latest digital innovation, will allow customers to receive Western Union money transfers into their mobile money Guyana MMG wallets or any commercial bank account, offering greater convenience, speed, and reliability. The app was designed to provide a simplified, all-in-one financial solution for customers, offering them 24/7 access to send money and manage finances, removing the need for physical visits to remittance locations. As Indigenous Heritage Month activities continue, Centura Holdings is proudly showcasing its dedication to Guyanese heritage through the constant promotion of local products and setting a tone in the agro-processing sector. Antonio Day reports.
Since 2016, Centura Holdings, through its brand Green Diamond Foods, has been celebrating Guyanese heritage. The company draws inspiration from the Amerindian traditions of the Pomeroon, offering a range of products including cassava, casserip, cassava bread, plantain flour, and various teas. In honor of Amerindian Heritage Month, the Guyana National Bureau of Standards said it recognized Centura Holdings for its commitment to using indigenous ingredients and maintaining farm-to-table authenticity. The Guyana National Bureau of Standards, in a statement on Friday, noted that each product reflects cultural diversity and authenticity and supports local agriculture, catering to both domestic and international markets. General Manager Michelina Richmond emphasized that GNBS certification and the Made in Guyana Standards mark have significantly enhanced the brand's trustworthiness, recognition, and market access. And I quote, "For Centura Holdings, certification has meant trust and credibility, stronger brand recognition, enhanced competitiveness, and greater market access, as well as support for national economy. Certification is not just a badge, it is a gateway to growth, visibility, and preservation of cultural pride," she proudly stated. With stringent quality control and production protocols, Centura Holdings continues to thrive in agro-processing industry, Richmond acknowledged. As we celebrate Amerindian Heritage Month, Centura Holdings reminds us that their products represent not just food, but a vital piece of Guyana's cultural narrative, passion, quality, and storytelling, the statement added. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Regional leaders gathered in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago on the Thursday for the launch of the 2025 Regional Health Development Report for Latin America and the Caribbean. The report highlights the urgent need to strengthen resilience and place people at the center of development strategies. Tiana Cole reports.
The launch of the 2025 Regional Human Development Report for Latin America and the Caribbean, themed Under Pressure, Recalibrating the Future of Development in Latin America and the Caribbean, was hosted in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago on Thursday. Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, Senator Dr. Kennedy Sawart Singh, in opening remarks, described the report as more than a publication, calling it a call to action. He stressed that development must go beyond income measurements, placing people at the center of strategies to build resilience and ensuring that economies serve humanity and not the other way around.
In the Caribbean, we know what it means to live under pressure. As small island states, we face the front lines of climate change, financial shocks, trade disruptions. Therefore, resilience speaks our capacity to withstand these global shocks and emerge stronger.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar, in her address, noted that the report goes beyond statistics. She explained that true progress cannot be measured by GDP alone, but must also reflect the quality of classrooms, the strength of healthcare system, the fairness in the justice system, and the dignity of people.
The report's really a dire warning to all of us in the region, in Latin America and in the CARICOM. It gives us a dire warning, but there's also a lot in it that gives us hope.
The 2025 Regional Human Development Report introduces a resilient human development framework with a core focus on strengthening people's capacity, particularly the most vulnerable, to withstand, adapt, and thrive in contexts of uncertainty. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes, plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Multiple FPSOs, drill ships, and support vessels. And this is just the beginning. Life offshore has become a reality for many Guyanese in the oil and gas industry. But in the past, we had to travel abroad to complete the necessary offshore survival training. Now, the training is available right here in Georgetown. I'm getting the skills I need and building the career I've always wanted. I'm Max, and this is what's possible.
Learn more about Max's story and how ExxonMobil's investments are benefiting thousands of Guyanese like him at www.exxonmobil.com/what-is-possible.
Mom, did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Good evening and welcome to Friday's edition of the Regional News. I am Antonio Lee. We begin with news in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar highlighted both progress and fragility in the human development across Latin America and the Caribbean during the launch of the UNDP Regional Human Development Report of 2025. She noted that despite halving poverty in a generation, 1 in 4 people still lives in poverty, with many others at risk of falling back due to the economic shocks. The Human Development Index has sharply declined since the mid-2010s, exacerbated by COVID-19, leaving the region's uncertainty levels 50% higher than the global average. She addressed ongoing inequality amidst reported growth and emphasized the need for stronger cross-border crime responses and rebuilding community trusts. Digital transformation and artificial intelligence must be harnessed responsibly to enhance education and public services while preventing deepening divides, the politicians stressed. Persad-Bissessar expressed pride in hosting the report's Caribbean launch, reinforcing her government's commitment to inclusive sustainable development. She vowed to create an environment where every citizen feels recognized and served essential to the Caribbean's future prosperity. Still with news in the Trinidad and Tobago, police say that they have detained a secondary school student after a black package containing plant-like material resembling cannabis along with wrapping paper was discovered on Wednesday. Police Commissioner ALETHEA has commended the swift and professional actions of the officers involved, saying, "I continue to stand firmly
behind the school-oriented policing initiative, which has proven to be a vital line of defense in safeguarding our learning environments, end of quote. He said the intervention underscores the vigilance and professionalism of our officers, whose presence is not merely symbolic, but actively preventative. I urge parents and guardians to take a closer look at what their children are bringing into our nation's schools. The last time I checked, wrapping paper and suspicious plant-like material were not on the Ministry of Education's approved book list. Let us remain united in protecting the sanctity of our classrooms, he added. The police said that officers attached to the school-oriented policing unit acted swiftly on intelligence, received and intercepted the male Form 1 student at a secondary school in Northern Division, North District. And finally, with some international news, U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday celebrated the suspension of a talk show host, Jimmy Kimmel, from the airwaves and said that TV broadcasters should lose their licenses over negative coverage of his administration, adding fuel to a national debate over free speech. Kimmel has been embroiled in the effort by Trump and his supporters to punish critics of assassinated right-wing activist Charlie Kirk, who was shot while speaking at a Utah University Since then, allies of Trump and Kirk have warned Americans to properly mourn the divisive figure or face the consequences. Thank you for watching. I am Antonio Day. Goodbye for now. Do have a great weekend and be safe.
Let's now join Delwyn Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Friday, September 19th, 2025. We begin tonight with domestic hockey. Action resumed in the 2025 National Junior Hockey Tournament at the National Gymnasium on Thursday. In the first match of the night, Kyra Scott secured a 1-0 victory for Saints against the GCC Spartans in the girls under-21 category. Match number 2 produced a 3-1 victory for SHC's S-Team over the GCC Outlaws in the boys under-21 category, with Jabari Lovell scoring a masterful hat-trick in a winning effort. Match number 3 in the open women's category ended in a 2-2 stalemate between Saints and Old Fort, as Old Fort's Kitana Percival and Carlin Dean, as well as Saints' Clazer Bob and Theresa Copeland, each scored 1 goal for their respective sides. Match number 4 was yet another high-scoring game in the open men's category as Saints defeated the GCC Spare Parts 7-3 on the back of 4 goals from Jonathan Liverpool. GCC's Lucas Sargent also scored twice in a losing effort. In the final match of the evening, GBTI GCC whipped Old Fort 5-1 in the open women's category as Absadi Cadogan scored twice and Hannah Percival, Elizabeth Lespore and Rebecca Ferreira each scored 1 goal in a winning effort. Moving into some football, action resumes on Saturday as Elite League winds down. Season 7 of the Guyana Football Federation's Elite League will resume at the National Training Center in Providence on Saturday. The doubleheader will feature Anns Grove United versus the Guyana Police Force FC in the first fixture, and then Manedalus will go up against the Fruta Conquerors. Earlier this week on social media, news began to circulate that tabletopper Slingers FC will in fact claim their second title and be crowned Elite League champions at the end of Season 7, since they are currently 12 points clear of second place Guyana Police Force FC with just 2 fixtures remaining in the season. Now for some cricket, the Caribbean Premier League resumes tonight as the Trinbago Knight Riders take on defending champion St. Lucia Kings for a chance in the finals on Sunday against the home side, the Guyana Amazon Warriors. The second seed Warriors secured their spot after defeating the Kings in the first qualifier on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the Knight Riders kept their hopes alive after some good batting propelled them to a victory against the Falcons in the eliminator on Tuesday. The Knight Riders, hunting a record 5th CPL title, will turn to their experience to give them a winning edge. Meanwhile, the Kings, having finished atop the points table in the first round, will be backing their recent form in what is essentially a semi-finals fixture. Also in cricket, former national fast bowler turned coach Rion Griffith has been appointed head coach for the West Indies Senior Men's Tour to the UAE later September. The West Indies are scheduled to take on Nepal in 3 T20 internationals at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium in the United Arab Emirates from September 27 to September 30th, 2025. Despite no Guyanese being included in the squad for what is being labelled as a developmental tour, Ryan Griffith, who has 22 first-class games for Guyana to his name and currently serves as an assistant coach under head coach Darren Sammy, will be getting his first opportunity to serve as head coach. The squad will be led by former world #1 ranked T20 bowler Akil Hussain and includes Jediah Blades, Navin Bidesi, Kareem Agor, Obed McCoy, Fabian Allen, Joel Andrew, Zishan Mutara, Ramon Simmons, Shamar Springer, Casey Carty, Kyle Mayers, Jason Holder, Amir Jangu, and Akeem Agis. And finally, horse racing returns to the Georgetown Turf Club. Racing fanatics can expect an action-packed day of horse racing as the Three Horsemen promoted 6-class horse racing meet is scheduled for the Georgetown Turf Club in Mocha on Sunday. With a total of $2 million in cash and prizes on offer, registration for all races will close on Saturday, and according to promoters, approximately 50 horses from popular stables across Guyana, including horses like Top Rankin, World Boss, Glorious Queen, and Money Time, have already registered to compete. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett, reminding you to stay in the game.
Lowe says he warned PNCR of election loss, blames leadership style for collapse. Day 26 of the election fraud trial. Defense objects to MINGO. February police interview. Court to conduct VOIR. Former CARICOM ambassador and director general, the late ELISABETH Harper, laid to rest. University of Guyana welcomes new and returning students during ceremonial opening. And in sport, 6-class horse race meet to return to the Georgetown Turf Club. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.